North Van Buren on the east side of Elk City. They'll be open until 2 or they sell out, whichever comes first. And that's a real possibility because people love donuts. Amy Donuts, 301 North Van Buren on the east side of Elk City.
Like most people, I use my phone as my alarm. And on weekdays, my alarm is set for 5 a.m. I rarely sleep until the alarm, but the alarm is set for 5 a.m. Last night, as I was getting ready for bed, getting my phone ready to charge and do what I do, I kept getting the same message from my phone alerting me that my alarm was set for 5 a.m. today, even though today's July 3rd. It was telling me I needed to rethink getting up that early since today's July 3rd. Because my phone knows that July 4th, also known as Independence Day, is tomorrow, but it's on the weekend. So is it the case that lots of businesses are closed today?
I think so, or closing early. They're either closed or closing early. In fact, I was afraid that the banks would be closed.
I was going to say government offices might be closed today.
Well, I was afraid, but I went yesterday to a couple of banks, and all the signs said was we'll be closed Saturday. So actually, I think they'll be open today. Because often when there's a holiday, when there's a federal holiday that actually falls on the weekend, then the federal government will recognize it on a different day, either the Friday or the Monday. Oh, maybe it'll be Monday. I don't know. I can't answer that. Here's what I do know. Man, we've come unto a time of year where there are a lot of events going on in western Oklahoma, and they're just about all in the Penny News. For instance, page 1 of the Penny News, Picking in the Park. This is something that we produce here, okay? KECO and Paragon Communications do this. It's an evening of traditional music and picking. That's right. There will be crops on hand that we will bend over and pluck with our very hands. It's going to be Byron White, JC from the Backroads, our very own Julius Caesar, Caroline Grace, and Dean Jackson will all reportedly and reputedly be there. That's July 30th in Ackley Park. That's July 30th in Ackley Park, and that's on page 1 of the Penny News. But if you go deeper into the Penny News, Landry, on page whatever... Oh, man, see, now I've lost it, and I can't find it. That's just one of the many things and events that are happening in western Oklahoma that you can actually find in the Penny News. Here we go, page 10 of the Penny News. In Sayre, page 10 of the Penny News. It's the Wild Plum Jam Music Fest, Sayre, America. In fact, yesterday, Joe Merrick was on with JC in the afternoon.
Joe.
Casey Donahue, Tyler Wilhelm, Presley Haley, and Pat Green, Landry, Wave on Wave.
Came upon me,
Wave on wave.
Wow. We did not even rehearse that.
Right.
Whoa.
Wow. Wild Plum Jam Music Fest in Sayre, July 10th. Excuse me. July 17th, it's on page 10. July 17th, it's on page 10 of the Penny News. And then, Landry, not to be outdone.
I hate being outdone.
We will not be outdone. Speaking of a KECO production, what? Do I have stuff on my head now?
You got black ink on your forehead.
Let me look at myself on Facebook.
You are really getting after it.
Let me look at myself on Facebook.
It's pretty high. You have to go nearly to the hairline.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Just right of center. Just like your politics, Nathan. Just right of center.
Uh-huh.
Am I right or am I right?
I got it.
You got some of the tip of your nose.
I know.
You frequently have it there. Sometimes I tell you, sometimes I don't.
And then I'm just like, oh, man, I get my face up in this Penny News. It's awesome. On page 16 of the latest Penny News, the 12th annual KECO Kids Fishing Derby in Ackley Park. That's going to be July 18th. So we got Picking in the Park, Wild Plum Jam the 17th, and the KECO Kids Fishing Derby and Family Day at the Park. Brought to you by Teddy's Glass, by the way. Presented by Teddy's Glass and Window Tint. We're going to fish, Lander. We're going to have T-shirts for the first 100 kids that say, I want a T-shirt. We're going to have there'll be some snacks and things that will be given out.
Is it? How long until that event is being put on by AI? That's what I worry about. I mean, how long until you fire me and you replace me on this show with AI?
Look at that. Man, that's a lot of words and images for this fishing derby. Assaulting the senses. Anyway, get the latest Penny News because you can, and it's free. 225-9697. Landry, people can't see you when you get away from the
I
microphone.
know.
They
That
want-
way, I know. But that makes them want to see me even more. It's tantalizing and titillating.
You know what they say?
See,
All
and then they're like, "Oh, he's back! I'm excited."
you can coach when to, where to, how to. You know what you can't coach?
Yeah.
Want to.
You know, our high school basketball coach, Mac Shuck, never taught rebounding. He never coached rebounding because he said it was all want to.
Yeah. If you want to, you'll figure it out and get there.
Now, I'm pretty sure that blocking out and reaching and jumping are pretty helpful. But he said rebounding, it's all want to.
3 things you need to know. Super special employee pricing means they've dropped the price. Closing out the 2025 models means they've dropped the price. Recent hail means they've dropped the price. There's a theme. Barbara Dyson Ford, northeast part of Elk City. 225-9697 is our text line. 74 degrees. Skies somewhere between clear and partly cloudy. Feel free to use that yourself.
Somewhere between clear and cloudy. Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is an official word. Landry, I have an official word here. The banks will be open today and Monday. I work at a bank in Clinton. Proud to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. Wait a minute. Does that mean the FDIC is still watching my money even on Independence Day?
Yes, both $100 of yours they are watching.
You know, isn't there was it a $100,000 maximum? In the old days, it was always $100,000. Insured up to $100,000.
I actually think it's more now, but I could be wrong.
My bank told me, they gave me a letter from the government that said I have so little money in the bank, they refuse to cover it. I have too little. I am fired up.
Are you fired up for patriotism?
Do you have a cap I can wear?
225-9697. Text us and let us know, what are your plans for Independence Weekend? By the way, be safe. We say this every year. We say this every year because it's a very real danger. We know this here at Paragon all too well. Our friend and coworker, Sean W. Willie Wilson. His name's actually Kenneth Sean Wilson. Did you know that?
I think I did, but I'd forgotten it.
His name's Kenneth Sean Wilson. You know, around here, we just call him Willie. In about 2013, I want to say it was 2013. I may have the date wrong. It was July 4th. I want to say 2013. He just did his best to blow half his hand off. And he has been a walking apostle of safety ever since then. And sadly, Landry, this is really sad. I was watching the Channel 9 News at 5 o'clock last night, and they talked about there was an incident, maybe in Oklahoma City, involving 2 young kids, 11 and a 12-year-old. And I'm about 99% sure that what I'm about to say is right. The 12-year-old boy, I believe, lost his hand due to lighting a mortar. I have loved fireworks for a good portion of my life. When I was a kid, the Independence Day was probably my second favorite holiday behind Christmas. When you're in the middle of summer and you're a kid and you think, we can go buy stuff and light it on fire and watch it explode, it's exciting, especially as a kid. But man, the bigger they get, the more gunpowder is in them, the more dangerous these things are. So please be very safe. You can have fun with fireworks. You can have fun with fireworks if you do it safely. So please be very careful. That's my PSA, Landry. How do you feel about that PSA I just gave?
I think that was, I think it was reasonable.
Was it proportional?
It was, yes, it was. It was reasonable, and it was understandable. Yeah, be super careful. It's one thing to hold a black cat firecracker and have it go off in your hand. It's entirely another thing to have a very large mortar.
If it's a Roman candle or a mortar, those things, you set them on the ground, light the fuse, and run to a safe distance to enjoy the show.
I'm going to say something that might upset somebody.
Okay.
But why in the world are we allowed to have these things? Yes, I understand freedom. I understand. And I think we should have the freedom to make bad decisions. I don't want the government telling me what to think. And I don't want the government trying to save me from myself. However, when you hear of an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old kid losing a hand, it makes you wonder.
16 minutes after 7 o'clock, 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. And, of course, we want to follow that up with be sure and go out and buy your fireworks today and tomorrow to support your local whatever.
Be careful.
In fact,
be
my
safe.
family, my kid yesterday, somebody in my family bought fireworks from the Elk City High School Band fireworks stand.
Da, da,
Da,
da,
da, da, da, da. So, look, I'm not anti-fireworks. I'm not anti-fireworks. I just, they can be very dangerous. You've got to be very careful. I'm not certain we need to be able to buy things that can blow your hand off.
I don't think so either. You know, it's one thing to have the firemen doing it.
Yeah.
They're professionals. They know what they're doing. If a fire starts, they can put it out. I feel safe and comfortable with the Elk City Fire Department or any other fire department taking care of that.
Mm-hmm.
John Q. Public, boy, I don't know.
Not quite as much, huh?
Of course, it's one thing if John Q. Public wants to blow his own hand off, but when his fireworks get out of control and then they start coming at me, that's when we have a problem.
Landry, this is a great weekend to show your patriotism and to cook out. And if you go to Atwood, you can do all of the above. They got flags for sale, 25% off all Valley Forge flags, 25% off. They've also got your choice tiki torch or 16-ounce citronella flag bucket. Cool. Save $1. $4.99. That's pretty good. But they've also got these 47-inch Rancher fire pit with grate that you can use, I think. Is that just a pit or is that a cooker? I don't know. But they've also got Oklahoma Joe's Highland Smoker. You can save $30 right now, just $3.99.99. They've got, of course, all lumberjack grilling pellets. Get your grill on, get your pool on. Are you going to be out in the pool? Brian's Buy of the Week, a pool noodle. These fun pool noodles, just $1.49 each. That's a loss leader, Landry. It's a loss leader. $1.49, $1.49. Brian's Buy of the Week, $1.49. One of these pool noodles. You can get them at Atwood's Ranch and Home Goods, Elk City, Clinton, Woodward, Altus. And this Atwood's information is inside the Penny News that came out yesterday morning or Wednesday night.
Nathan, I did something last night I almost never do. I cooked supper.
What'd you cook?
I cooked supper. Now, it wasn't anything homemade. It wasn't from scratch. It was not from scratch.
I don't think Captain Crunch counts as cooking.
It was orange chicken. Yeah, came in a box, but you still had different things. I had to cook it I cooked it in a wok. That was fun. You have to add the chicken tempura. I don't even know what that means. Some vegetable oil, although it should have been olive oil, probably, which would have been probably less unhealthy. And then you have to add the sauce and mix it up. And made some rice, and it was good. It was very good, and I really, really like it. And I did. And guess what? I made supper, and then I did the dishes. All me. All me.
Why are men so fascinated with fire and blowing things up?
I don't know, but we are.
Do you remember the time that Redon, when we were out in the country?
The battery?
Do you remember what Redon did with the battery and the ants?
I remember the battery, I think. I don't remember the ants.
Did it involve, what line did he run from the battery down there?
I don't know, but I remember
Some
him
kind of
doing
wire.
something with the car battery.
Did it involve gasoline or gunpowder?
It may have involved gunpowder.
He dug a hole near an ant bed. That's right, Redon Brewer.
By the way, ants are evil.
Yeah, they are. They deserve to die.
Yeah.
But they're also really smart and work. The way they work, it's fascinating. But they're also evil because they sting you and it hurts.
Like wasps.
That's right. Got no time for wasps or ants or bees. Although bees do us a favor with the honey.
Okay, they get a pass for the honey.
Nevertheless,
there's no wasp honey.
Our brother, Redon Car Wash Brewer, we had an ant, and he has, and no wonder he went on to be a fireman. He loved fire. He absolutely loves fire. And so we had this red ants out in the country.
Yeah.
And he dug a hole near the ant bed. I swear, put gunpowder in there, put a wire in, went a safe distance away, and connected that wire to a 12-volt battery. And I remember there was a little eruption there. Was it safe? Probably not. Was it fun? Absolutely. And did it solve a problem? You bet. Killed some ants. Now, I am not recommending anybody do anything like that. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just telling you, men love fire and explosions. And that's part of why men love Independence Day.
I wonder who buys and who uses more fireworks. Got to be males.
Oh, has
Got
to be.
to be.
God, oh, absolutely.
Now, kids, boys and girls,
No, it's kids
like
mostly, but
like fireworks, but I'm guessing more males than females
yeah.
buy and use the fireworks, and certainly enjoy. The enjoyment level has to be much higher for the males than
Yeah,
females.
this is the one thing that men show up to buy. Men don't like buying stuff normally. Shopping, I know it's a stereotype, but there's a reason. Most shopping, I think, is done by women, except for fireworks. Men proudly go to the fireworks stand. Yeah, I'll take that big one over there.
They just back the pickup up, back
Yeah.
the trailer up. Load it up, boys!
They just buy, the fireworks people got smart years ago and started packaging the big. Yes, for $200, you can get 7,000 fireworks in one assortment. One container. All right, I'll take that one. Give me that one.
Of course, what you have to do is you don't want to light your good stuff while the sun is out early. You want to wait until the sun's going down to enjoy the nighttime display.
The nighttime is the right time.
Oh, no doubt.
For the big ones. When your operation runs on equipment, you got to keep the equipment running. And just about everything your engines need, you can get at Camrock. Buy in bulk, save time and money. Save time and money, Camrock Supply, next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City.
The caffeinated conversation continues on the early morning show right after this.
Brian Bacca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
For most people planning for retirement, their number one fear is living too long and running out of money long before they run out of life. Imagine if you were on a vacation driving through the desert. You're enjoying the desert scenery and letting your mind wander as you admire the vast terrain and all of the beautiful natural landscape. All of a sudden, you see a sign that says next gas 100 miles. You look down at your gas gauge and notice you have a little less than a quarter of a tank. Immediately, you begin to think of how you overlook such an important detail. You start to second-guess your car's gas mileage. You turn the air conditioner down, roll down your window, and you eventually decrease your speed to help get better mileage. Now you're not enjoying the drive as much, and all you can think about is, are you going to make it? This is Brian Bacca with Advanced Financial Strategies. Don't plan your retirement on a quarter of a tank. Make sure you are confident your financial tank is full before entering your retirement journey. Give us a call at our office, 323-6800, or check us out on retirewithbacca.com.
Cotton producers, is your cotton already locked into the co-op pool this year? What if you could stay in the pool without having to gin through the co-op? Here's the good news. PCCA now allows independent gins like Carson County Gin to place your cotton into the pool you've already signed up for. That means you keep your pool marketing benefits while gaining the flexibility of an independent gin, family-style service, strong communication, and historically higher seed prices at independent gins in Texas. You'll still benefit from risk mitigation, professional expertise, and improved cash flow. This just lets you focus on farming while experts manage price volatility. But now you'll get to enjoy what independence brings. Constant communication from faces and voices you recognize, and historically higher seed prices. Same pool, different path, more options for your operation. Carson County Gin, 17 miles west of Pampa. Built around producers, tradition, and family.
Old Trapper Jack here again, and since I've been practicing my axe throwing at Mountain Men's Axe Throwing and Grub in Elk City, I ain't lost one axe fight. And my belly's always full with their awesome grub. Grab all your buddies and come on down. Pre-book online at www.mountainmanselkcity.com. They're open Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and then again from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Saturdays from noon to 8:30. Dine in or carry out. Located at 325 South Main Street here in Elk City. Come on down and bury the hatchet.
I mean, because when they're in a bind, they're in a bind. You want that company to think of you first. Oh, we need this. Well, call Brock. You call me. We'll get it taken care of. When they call you, they want you to answer the phone. And whether it's Sunday, Saturday, or Monday, they also want customer service. Do what you say you're going to do. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing. And if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. If they call me, they're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes them money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in the Camrock building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
Level up your fitness at Modern Fitness. With 24-hour access, you can work out anytime you want. Modern Fitness in Elk City. Get in shape and have fun doing it at a really nice gym.
Ready for another dose of radio caffeine? Here comes the early morning show on KECO.
You know, Nathan, one of the great things about the early morning show on 96.5 KECO with Landry and Nathan and you is that it's Independence Day weekend, and I get fired up, you know? You see all the patriotic stuff, the flags flying around, and it's fun and exciting. And by the way, my biased opinion is the United States of America has the best-looking flag in the world. I mean, you know that, right? It is the best-looking flag
awesome.
in the world. Yeah, it's awesome. 50 stars, 13 stripes that we all learned in first or second grade represent the 50 states we have and the original 13 colonies. It's awesome. Just like this guy. And by the way, look, America does not have the market cornered on patriotism. There are patriots all over the globe, and everybody should be. You know, if you are pick a nation. If you're from Australia, you should love Australia. You should be a patriot and love your country. That's what patriotism is. Love your country. Everybody should. No matter where you're from. If you're Irish, love Ireland. You're Russian, love Russia. Right? But
Even the Canadians, right? They love Canada.
But you know what? I love loving America.
Uh-huh.
That's what I love.
Even if you're Bosnia and Herzegovina, sure, you love your country, but you lost
Yeah,
to the American
'cause we're
soccer
number
team.
one!
By the way, Nathan, this is the second time during the show in this segment I've said "by the way."
Oh, well.
So, by the way, according to that story I read, the American soccer team playing in an event that happens every 4 years called the World Cup beat Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. And so I said to Nathan, does that mean they're in the Sweet 16? I think it does.
74 degrees, sky somewhere between clear and cloudy. We're looking for a high of about 97. Your forecast at the bottom. Landry, Independence Day, we could hit triple digits. I hope you're near a pool. I hope you're near a body of water to cool off.
I'll be near a pool of my own sweat.
One summer, Julie's friend was leaving town, needed somebody to look after her horses. And so Julie got a tighter grip on her horses. Watched them for a friend all summer long. She'll watch dogs, cats, hamsters, gerbils, chickens, whatever you need watched, Landry. I said chickens.
Did you say gerbils and
Gerbils,
chickens?
hamsters, chickens, squirrels, raccoons, possums, dogs, cats, bobcats.
Raccoons.
Whatever you need, Landry. If you're going to be gone for a day, the weekend, or a week's long vacation, who's keeping the pets? Positive Paws Pet Sitting. 339-6622 is the phone number. 339-6622.
And Nathan, it's the first time in 24 years that the U.S. men's national soccer team is advancing in the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup. The knockout stage. I guess that means if you lose, you're gone. You're done.
Well, yeah.
The U.S. beat Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 in the round of 32 Wednesday night, overcoming that controversial red card by star Folarin Balogun. That was baloney. Balogun. Blah, 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 goals, blah, blah, blah. Here's how it looks. Okay, the America plays again on Monday, July 6th, 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time. We're in Central Time, okay? At Lumen Field in Seattle. You know who the Americans are taking on? Belgium.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and their waffles. Hey, it's going to be on Fox. Do you get Fox? Do I get Fox? Hey, I do get Fox on my antenna, I think.
I don't get Fox.
I might be able to watch that game on Monday. Where did it go? I saw some wording that indicated that the Americans had moved on to... Here it is. What channel is... Okay, it's a headline. What channel is USA Soccer game on in round of 16? Indicating the Americans made it to the Sweet 16 of the World Cup.
Sweet 16. Sweet 16.
That means the United States is one of the world's best 16 teams. That's pretty good. In the world. right?
A reminder, Landry, that with this being Independence Weekend,
Mm-hmm.
Ackley Park at Oak City's got some altered hours for tomorrow, like the park stuff, the miniature golf, and the carousel and the train. I think 1 to 5 tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1 to 5.
Thank you for not calling that putt-putt.
Yeah, I don't do that. 1 to 5 tomorrow, but the pool 11 to 5 tomorrow. Some altered hours for Independence Day. Here's everything, I'm looking now at the City of Oak City's Facebook page. They put a post out. Daytime fun, park attractions 1 to 5, aquatic center 11 to 5. This is tomorrow. Personal fireworks, green zones only 6 p.m. to midnight. Red and orange areas restricted. Stay clear. And there's a map here.
Oh, I love that map.
City fireworks show, lighting up the sky around 10 p.m. Find the best views in yellow marked areas on the map. So there's a map on the City of Oak City Facebook page with green zones and all to know where to go and where not to go. Some places are restricted.
Red and orange are restricted. Why aren't they all red or all orange?
I don't know. That's a great
They're
question.
all restricted.
Yeah,
So
I
the
can't
red
tell you.
zones, are those the ball fields? And then the orange zone, what's Daylight Donuts, isn't it? In the old strip mall where it was 40 years ago.
Daylight, yeah.
No, that's not right. That is not right. What is that orange zone that's restricted? Where is that? Is it the ball fields? No.
That is a fabulous
Oh,
question.
that's Ackley Park. That's near the tennis courts, I think. And the mini golf and the aquatic center and the mini golf.
225-9697. Text us and let us know. 225-9697. Is there anything going on we need to know about? Is there anything going on specifically that you would like us to discuss? You could tell us. 225-9697.
Nathan, for the yearly July 4th fireworks in the park and elsewhere, do you do anything with your animals to help them adjust? Or
No.
Do cats have a problem with fireworks like dogs seem to? Dogs really seem to struggle with fireworks.
Speaking of that, and this is barely related, and this is a real thing. My wife knew people back in the 80s or 90s. A particular couple. This gentleman had fought in Vietnam. And years after he came home, survived the war, came home, and on the 4th of July, he really struggled with the fireworks, the sounds
I could imagine.
of the fireworks.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
He couldn't be around it.
I believe
He could not go out, and that's one of the, you don't think about
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing the average citizen doesn't think about. But man, if you served in war and your life was in danger frequently from mortar shells rolling in and the sounds, and I could see where you would really struggle with fireworks. And this particular gentleman did, and I would imagine many people are that way. 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. Have you ever heard the song Arlington by Trace Atkins?
I don't think so.
I have. And that one of our listeners texted that in. Arlington by Trace Atkins is a great song. Give it a listen. Earlier, we were talking about banks and are they going to be open or closed this weekend? Or are they going to be open or closed today and Monday? Well, they're going to be closed tomorrow because it is the federal holiday tomorrow. Saturday, July 4 is Independence Day. But they're going to be open today and Monday, according to someone who works at a bank in Clinton. And I asked this person, do you live in Clinton? And then I said, thank you for listening to the show. And that person responded, I live in Rocky. I listen to y'all every morning.
Oh, bless your heart.
Out on Rocky Top, out on that Rocky Route. Rocky Route, you'll always be home sweet home to me. You know, after the singing, that person may stop listening.
I can't help but wonder, are there any special activities, Independence Day activities planned for the sinkhole in Weatherford? What is happening at the sinkhole in Weatherford this Independence Day weekend?
Or, you know, after Sinkhole de Mayo, maybe they take the rest of the summer off. Or is this a big tourist season for the sinkhole?
Don't they take all the fireworks, the spent fireworks, and bury them?
And then Read On takes a wire, connects it, and then hitches up the other end of the wire to a 12-volt battery. And that's when the real show begins.
I could see people coming from all over Custer County to Weatherford for the big sinkhole celebration.
Struggling early in life is quite good for you. When you're in your 20s and just starting out in adulthood and you're out on your own, being poor is good because it forces you to get smart with your money, and you learn sacrifice, you learn hard work, you're hungry, you want more, and you're working. But those same struggles in your 60s and 70s and 80s, that is no way to go through the golden years, okay? You don't want to do that. You need a strategy. And the earlier you start, the more you end up with. There are ways and things you can do to make sure that your golden years really are enjoyable. Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton. The website is retirewithbaca.com. Brian and Bradley Baca, okay, B-A-C-A. They're people. The website, retirewithbaca.com.
All right, the American soccer team, Team USA, competing in the World Cup, made it to the Sweet 16. Next game is Monday. The next match is Monday against Belgium.
I'm a dental nerd because I love dentistry. I love what I get to do. I love learning anything more that I can to help serve my patients. And also it helps fulfill me because I enjoy what I'm doing. I love what I do. My favorite part is the chairside interactions with patients and my team. I have an opportunity to do a few artistic things. I love the cosmetic aspects of dentistry. Part of it because I've had other people make me feel like I'm good at it. And who doesn't want to feel good about something if somebody tells you that you're good at it?
I'm Dr. Jamie Cameron, Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics in Weatherford, catty corner to Walgreens. swdentalok.com.
Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics, where we treat you like family and do life-changing dentistry.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with fireworks from the Western Oklahoma Christian School fireworks stand located at the corner of Randall and 20th Street in Elk City. Open from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. and on the 4th of July they'll be open from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Let's celebrate the greatest country in the world. God bless America. Proceeds from this sale will go to help the Western Oklahoma Christian School send their 6th grade class to Washington, D.C.
People call it hay wrap, but the technical term is net wrap. Our net wrap is like the strongest in the industry. It has a 12-month UV stabilizer so it don't break down, and it holds your bells together longer and makes it more worth your money. The cheaper stuff only lasts, I feel, if you wrap it probably a couple months and it's going to start breaking down when you try to move your bells. This one lasts a good over a year. Holds it tight. They want to keep their hay good, so it's good for their cows and horses not getting moldy and breaking apart when they're trying to move it and lose half of it down the road. There's like handles that's made on the roll because they're long and they're pretty heavy, but this makes it where you can pick it up and put it in there. It's not so bulky and you have to manhandle it so bad. It's the green and yellow brand colors, and everybody likes that color just because it holds up better and is stronger, and I've had a lot of good feedback from it. People can come get this hay wrap at Camrock Supply, 2111 South Main in Elk City. We're right south of Fred's.
Forget the chief. Hell to the savings. Brought on by the hell. Mother Nature lobs some ice pebbles over Barbara Dyson Ford, and we love it. We get to mark down every vehicle we've got, leaving even more money in your pocket. On top of that, we're closing out the 2025 models with even bigger rebates. Small hail damage means big markdowns on everything, plus bigger rebates on the 2025 models. These spring savings will get you ready for summer travel at Barbara Dyson Ford in Elk City, online at barbaradysonford.net.
Generac backup generators are the industry standard, and Carter Electric in Elk City is your authorized Generac dealer. Let's face it, electricity is a highly needed element in our daily lives. It's a proven fact extreme weather impacts electricity providers. So let Carter Electric help you get the properly sized Generac backup generator for your home or business. Plus, they can professionally install it for you. So anytime the power grid goes out, your backup power switches on automatically. And it's fueled by natural gas or propane, so no refueling needed. Carter Electric, 217 West 12th Street in Elk City. Call 225-2447, your Generac authorized dealer.
Minutes away from the top, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. I'm Nathan, that's Landry.
That was one of my favorite patriotic songs, by the way.
You know who you are.
Coming back from the break, we were listening to one of my favorite patriotic songs.
That's right. Shall we remain in the old paths? Shall we gather at the river? Shall we take a look at your forecast? Mostly sunny and hot, high near 97, south winds 10 to 20. Tonight, partly cloudy, 73. And tomorrow, on Independence Day, sunny and warmer, high of 100. That's right, triple digits expected tomorrow, south winds 10 to 20. So today, 97. Tomorrow, 100. Keep the iced tea handy. If you've got a pool in the backyard, make sure it's filled and cleaned so you can refresh yourself in the pool. Right now, 75 degrees on the back porch of KECO Radio. Skies somewhere between clear and cloudy. I'm Nathan, that's Landry. 225-9697 is the text line. Landry, fire it up. Are you ready?
Click.
I don't think you're ready, but you better get ready. Here we go. Yeah, the holiday is not the 4th of July. It's Independence Day, and we celebrate this day. And Landry mentioned this yesterday. The dates are a little fuzzy because this happened on July 2nd, and this happened on July 4th, and then later on it was fully signed in August, but then actually we didn't win the war and declare peace until we weren't officially on our own.
When did America become independent? And, frankly, the 13 states that declared independence created a confederation, which is not the same thing as a nation.
But
really, we weren't a nation until the Constitution went into effect in 1789. But
here's the deal.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
We're independent now. It all started in 1776.
That's right.
And we have decided to make July 4th the day. So let's celebrate Independence Day. Okay, we declared independence.
We're independent.
Which, by the way, has any other nation that you know of ever began with a formal declaration like this? With a document? We wrote out a document and announced to the world, hey, we are now free. Congratulate us, everyone. Rejoice with us. We are free.
And it wasn't just that we made the announcement. We made the announcement that we're independent, or at least we want to be, and why. The American rationale is given.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the Declaration of Independence doesn't just declare to everyone, well, specifically to England, because that's who it was
actually, it
sent
was written to the world.
Well, yeah.
It was intended for the world. We were also going to have to appeal to foreign countries to get help.
Yeah. So what it is it's declaring the fact of independence. Yes, we determine we are going to be free, but also here's why. So the very first line, actually the most famous part of the Declaration is the second line. It's, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That's not the first line. The first line is, when in the course of human events. And that's how it begins. It is one very long sentence. In the written document, it's its own paragraph. It's actually one sentence that's very long.
Man, they wrote long sentences back in 1776.
And what they're saying in the very first sentence, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, blah, blah, blah. In other words, we've been connected to England, and we've been connected for a while now, but we're gonna change that, and we want to explain why. That's the first sentence. The second sentence begins the rationale. We. The first line is we. Now, you could say Thomas Jefferson was speaking for the committee, or you could say he was speaking for the whole Continental Congress, or you could say by extension he's speaking for all of the colonists in all 13 colonies. We. All of us here on the eastern seaboard of what is now the United States of America, we hold these truths to be self-evident. They're going to declare things that they don't have to a self-evident truth is something that doesn't have to be proven. It's obvious.
But we're going to say it anyway.
We're going to say it, but they're self-evident. That, here's what they are. That all men are created equal. That's number one. Now, what Thomas Jefferson meant by that in 1776 is not what we mean today. What he meant was all white landowning men over a certain age. We, the colonists, hold these truths to be obvious, that all men are created equal, and they're endowed by their Creator. And where does this equality come from? Where do the rights come from? From their Creator. with certain unalienable rights, rights that cannot be taken away by man. And among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't kill us. That's not right. You can't take away our freedom. That's not right.
Which is, of course, ironic since Jefferson, who wrote it, and many of the other members of the Congress owned slaves.
Yes.
However.
And that we have a right to pursue happiness. That's a little, in my mind, that's a little fuzzier than the first two. I get the life and liberty, pursuit of happiness. And the reason, and what they do is they go on to say, but the King of England, that's really who they're talking about.
He's a bum.
The King of England is getting in the way of this. He's taking away our liberty and our ability to pursue happiness. And I suppose by extension could say taking away their life, although it depends on what he's talking about there. But that in order to secure these rights, Landry, these self-evident rights that we as human beings possess from God, we form government. That's the essence of government, is to protect these things, to protect my life, my liberty, and my ability to live the way I want to live. That is the government's essence, for protection, okay? To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, but they derive their powers from the consent of the governed. We come together, form a social contract, and say, I'm going to give up certain rights to get bigger, better rights. Okay. And when the government doesn't fulfill its obligation, then the governed have the right to dissolve that government. And then the rest of the thing is listing all the wrongs the colonists believed King George III of England had perpetrated on them. And then at the very end, they have a rousing conclusion with an altar call. That's okay, that's not quite right. But. And then there's this rousing conclusion to wrap the whole thing up. In fact, I want to read this. Okay, the very end. I'm not going to read the whole. Good night. That is one sentence. No. It's two sentences, but still. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America. So they use that phrase early on. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Do you teach your students the Declaration, don't you?
I do, in my U.S. History 1877 class and in my American Government and Politics class. I spend a lot of time talking about the founding, the philosophy of the founding, why the Americans decided to break from Great Britain. And it was based on multiple things. Their experiences, which that were really good until they weren't, until about 1763. The relationship changed dramatically, seemingly overnight. The British started doing stuff the Americans didn't like and that they believed violated their rights. And the Americans had read the political philosophy of a British man named John Locke. And that's where Thomas Jefferson got what he wrote in the Declaration of Independence. There are line-for-line, word-for-word reproductions from a man named John Locke and what he wrote called the Second Treatise of Government, so much so that Thomas Jefferson was accused of plagiarism. And he said, well, I never claimed originality of thought. And John Locke wrote in his Second Treatise of Government that exactly what Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, which is, we're born with rights. We have rights because we're humans given to us by God. And so after a while, we form a government to protect those rights. And so the people always have ultimate authority. And that was the belief of Jefferson and the Americans. The people have the authority. And if a government, which is formed to protect your rights, starts violating the rights, the people then have the right to withdraw their consent from the government to be governed.
Now,
to
let me say
alter
this.
or abolish.
Now, let me say this,
do
though.
something else.
That is a slippery slope to go down, because what if one person decides the government needs to be overthrown?
But that's why the Congress, which was elected by the people in the colonies, took a vote. They were the representatives of the people. That's the essence of representative government. You and I don't make our own laws, Nathan. We elect people to do that for us. We live in a representative republic, also called a democratic republic. And so the members of the Continental Congress took a vote and said, yeah, we want to be independent. And you five guys, Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin and John Adams and a couple other guys, form a committee, and we want you to create a document. And they did. And Thomas Jefferson was the guy on the committee chosen to write the document. And he did. And then the other four members, tweaked it, and they handed it over to the Congress, and they eliminated about a fifth of it. But then on July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress, on behalf of the American people, meaning white landowning males of a certain age, adopted this document, this formal document saying, we're independent, and here's why. Which is why, all these years later, we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th. And tomorrow marks the 250th anniversary since the Declaration of Independence was adopted by the Continental Congress. And then they did two things when they finally signed it, right? When they finally signed the Declaration of Independence. They got it printed up on real good
They
parchment.
rang the Liberty Bell, and then this guy had a concert. Bruce was Benjamin Franklin's favorite rock and roll singer. A lot of people don't know that.
Good morning, partly cloudy and 77. This is the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Atho. Independence Day lands on Saturday, and fireworks will light up the skies all across western Oklahoma, but one local man is urging people not to forget how dangerous those explosives can be. Paragon Communications' Sean Wilson knows firsthand the risk. On July 4th of 2015, Wilson suffered a serious injury involving an artillery shell.
Mishandling fireworks back in 2015. I was throwing a 2-inch artillery shell and I had it in my hand like a baseball. When I pulled it back to throw it, the fuse coiled back, hit the side of it, and it went off, splitting my hand in two, causing me to lose these two fingers, blew this finger off the bone and the end of my thumb. They flew me to Oklahoma City and were able to save my hand. But I can tell you right now that fireworks are very, very dangerous. You need to practice caution.
Wilson was airlifted to Oklahoma City where doctors were able to save his hand. Still, the effects of that moment stick with him, and he hopes his story serves as a warning.
Fortunately, I didn't hurt anybody else. That would have been a hard thing for me to forgive myself for, but I did hurt myself, and other people are going to be hurt this 4th of July unless they practice fireworks safety. I cannot stress to you how important that is, because these fireworks are more powerful than what one thinks they are. And so you've got to be very, very careful, and especially around kids.
Despite his injury, Wilson still supports fireworks use, but says reading and following the directions is key. The Beckham County Sheriff's Office is continuing its focus on school safety. School resource officers Joseph Coates and Richard Jones recently attended the Oklahoma Association of School Resource Officers Conference, along with Eric Public Schools Principal Stephen Whalen. The conference brought together law enforcement, educators, and school administrators from across Oklahoma to discuss school safety, legal updates, digital threats, child predator awareness, and violence prevention. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning says while local schools already have strong safety measures in place, it's important to keep evaluating potential concerns and preparing for new challenges. Manning says the training allows officers to stay informed on emerging issues, strengthen partnerships with educators, and bring new ideas back to Beckham County with the goal of providing the safest possible environment for students and staff. In state news, the lawmakers who wrote the new Rockets Red Glare Act in Oklahoma are reminding folks that the new law does not mean fireworks are legal everywhere. Oklahoma News Network's Rex Oates has that.
That new law from Senator Brian Logan of Payton and Representative Scott Fettgatter of Okmulgee allows for the sale of bottle rockets in Oklahoma for the first time in over 40 years, and it allows fireworks to be sold year-round. But the pair have released a statement reminding everyone that municipal restrictions on fireworks still apply and to use caution this holiday weekend. I'm Rex Oates.
These stories and more on our Facebook page and website. Partly cloudy right now, currently 77. This has been the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Apeth.
4 minutes away from the top, 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. You got a couple of choices on your big machinery. Either wait until you bust a hose and it's an emergency, or get ahead of things by being supplied ahead of time. Either way, American Hose and Supply is ready to help. Inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse on the south side of Elk City. 225-9697 is the textual line, 225-9697. Good morning. If you're on your way from Rocky to Clinton, we surely do appreciate it. Maybe the all-time great patriotic song? Maybe? What do you think?
I was walking yesterday on my regular route, and a vehicle approached me, turned off of Randall onto Walter Way, and there were some, I think, young people. The windows were rolled down, and I could hear them singing this song.
Get out. Did it give you hope for the future?
It did. Of course, I was about to pass out from the heat and the weakness, but still. You know, John Locke and Thomas Jefferson would disagree with Lee Greenwood. Nobody gave humans any rights. Thomas Jefferson and John Locke said they came from God. But nevertheless, it's a lovely song.
But, we take the meaning that they help protect the right.
They protected that right for me.
But I also love this song by Toby Keith, Made in America. I mean, call me a sucker. Call me an old fool.
You just love a Craftsman wrench and WD-40.
I love this
That's
song.
Your deal. That's your deal.
How many of us had a grandpa that he is describing? I love that line. He won't buy nothing he can't fix with WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench. If he can't fix it with that, he won't buy it. How about that? Every day is Independence Day.
That's right, baby.
Says the Pledge of Allegiance anyway. Come on, Semper Fi tattooed on his left arm.
Hey, that's the Marine motto. Always faithful.
And then he's got this line coming up, raised on the King James and the, what's the other one? Oh, King James and Uncle Sam. Here we go. Here we go, it's right here. I love it when you say it without saying it. I know what he means by that. He was raised up on King James, and Uncle Sam means the King James Bible. That's what he's talking about. He said it without saying it, and that's why it's a well-written song.
God and country.
Yeah. Fox News, exploring energy and more. Y'all stay safe tomorrow. Happy Independence Day. This is 96.5 KECO in Elk City.
This is KECO Elk City.
Fox News, I'm Deangelosi. America's 250th birthday celebrations begin today. President Trump going back to South Dakota to deliver a speech